Good morning everyone and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. I hope you all had a fabulous weekend. I was a little bit busy and a little bit resting. So it's Monday, so happy Monday, and I have a small Halloween haul. Now I have done some paper cuts and we are going to do some stamping. And before I forget, I'll be up on Friday with a little Christmas haul. And of course I've been shopping with Piggy. So I have got my ruler. And the first thing that I bought were these cute little ghosties. Now, I've had my eye on these for a couple of years. Yeah, I know. It's just that Piggy's store has got so much in it, you know, that you just keep going back and looking. I'll do the middle one. That looks the biggest. And that is 1¼ inches wide at the bottom of its sheet. And then I'll do that bit there. It's just under 2 inches. But aren't they cute? Now, I also got another set, which is the smaller version, and I'm just picking them up. So these are the cute little ones. Aren't they sweet? Oh, they're absolutely adorable. And I have cut these out. I'm trying to think which looks the biggest. Maybe that middle one again. And that's just under 1 inch and just over 1/2 inch. So those are my ghosties. I'm going to move those over to there, and I'm just picking them up. And there's a little one that I rested on top of one of the bigger ones. I hope you can see that. But aren't they cute? You can cut these in whatever colour you want to. And then the larger one with his little hands. Oh, my camera's just awful. I'm just going to zoom in and then zoom out. Oh, it's not working. No. Oh, there we go. I found the sweet spot. So I did that one hugging on to the little ghost, and I just think that looks so cute. I mean, you don't have to do that. You could put a pumpkin in its hands, but that's what that ghosty face looks like. Isn't that gorgeous? I love those. So that's 2 of those, and then the other ones I just simply cut out, because you can never have enough cute ghosties. So that one is throwing its arms up in the air, and then you've got a kind of smaller opposite version. You've got a tiny one that's got little hands that can be utilised for other things, and then you've got those. I'm just going to have a look here at my my camera settings while I'm chatting. Yeah, they are on autofocus. So there we go. Those are my little ghosties. So I'll pop those down. And then the next thing I got was bats. So just sorting out my bits there. And once again, you can never have enough bats. I'll just measure the largest one, and that's 2¼ inches wide. These are perfect for doing tags. So I'll pop my bats there, and then I've got my cutouts, and hopefully we're going to be able to see them all. There we go. Aren't they lovely? And the holes for the eyes are just big enough to put little beads in. I don't even think I poked that one out. But they're just really cute. I love those. Once again, any colour that you want to cut them in. But I just used black. And then next up, this witchy set. And this is another one I've been looking at for a couple of years and just didn't bother. And I don't know why. But you've got the witch hat. You've got the broom, you've got a little pair of shoes which have got little hang loops there, so you could actually dangle them, or you could use a little brad and pop them on your page. And then you've got the strap and the buckle for the hat. Now what's interesting about this is that this actually does thread through that, so it makes a really nice 3D object. So I've actually cut these out. And I'm trying to look at where I am here. It's just under 3 inches wide for the hat, and the broom is 3 1/4. The height of the hat is, I'm going to say, 1 7/8, just under 2 inches. And then of course your little shoes, they're just so cute. I'm going to say they're 2 1/2 inches because the hand loop sticks out further than the heel. So I did cut these. I actually coloured these with alcohol ink markers. So first of all, there's the hat. Can you see how it threads through? It's just really dimensional and lovely. And then you got all your curly bits. So I just used craft cardstock, as you can see, and just coloured it with my alcohol markers. And you got all those lovely creases in it. But you see that detail of that buckle? Isn't that great? I like that. And then I've got my broom. Alcohol markers on craft cardstock again. And then those gorgeous shoes. I just used a grey alcohol marker onto craft to get that tone, which is kind of a charcoaly black. But you've got those lovely holes that you can lace through if you wanted to. But you can just hang them like charms, or you can pair them up and use a brad, and they could just be sitting at the top of a tag or a card. But I really love those. Really cute. And then last but not least, once again, looking at this one for a couple of years, and I'm glad I bought it, and that is a boo tag, which comes with a boo. If you look at this opening here, it matches, so that you can just quite literally just cut those two things out if you want to, and tie them together, and you've got a little tag. Or you cut these elements out, and these are the eyes, the mouth, yeah. So that's the mouth, those are the eyes, and those are the pupils. And then you've got your boo section. But this can also be used if you do it in pastel colours. You could put a cupcake on there, because that kind of looks like drippy icing, doesn't it? Nice bit of frosting. And you could trim the bottom off and just layer that up and make it even look like a frosted cake. So I really love that one. And I did one in pink. And I cut the boo out, so if you didn't put the face on, you know, you can just put the boo there, or you can use the boo on a card. I don't know if it would actually fit one of the what they're called, the reinforcer holes on a planner page, but you could probably just take a punch and just enlarge in that section, and you could actually put it onto a planner page. I think it's really lovely. Whoops. And then I did one in traditional black and white, so that you could see that. And then I cut the boo in black, and for some reason I've got another spare boo, but I'm sure I'll be using it. Right, so those are my dies, and now I'm going to share my stamps. So I'm just going to move these out of the way, hopefully, without dropping everything. And I've got a plain white sheet of cardstock to put down. And I've got 2 sets of stamps. Right, just move those off to the side. I've got my sheet of white cardstock. And I've got my stamp block, which needs a good clean actually. I'll just pop that there. And I've got some archival ink. So I've got tiger lily, I've got black soot, I've got cactus flower, I've got dusty concord, and what else have I got here? I've got peeled paint, and I've also got spice marmalade. Now I'm not sure if you can get the archival ink in the mowed lawn and whatnot yet. What's it called? Citron. Yeah, it would be really nice to be able to get those in the archival, although whether they have or not, I haven't personally seen them. So up with my sets of stamps, and these are they. So we've got a stripy pumpkin, we've got a kind of Halloween party hat, we've got a crown, we've got little faces, you've got the witch hat, more pumpkin faces, we've got little bubbles or dots there, we've got little bits of grass that we can put around our pumpkin, Don't know what that kind of denotes, but then we've got little stars and little splotches. And if I measure just the largest pumpkin here while I've got it in my hand to give you a rough idea, that is, I'm going to say 1.5 inches, and then the width of that at its widest point is almost 1 3/8 of an inch. So that is the largest pumpkin on that set, so that you can evaluate the size of others. And then my next one, I'm going to have to take it out of its case because it's got a big white label stuck to it. So I'm just opening this up. Hopefully it's got a piece of sellotape on it. I've just got it caught all over my fingers. Oh, I will tell you some good news. It's cooled down a bit here. Who knows for how long, but it's lovely. Right, so on this set, we've got stars, we've got a witch, October 31st, we've got trick or treat, hocus pocus, a little spider. We've got this banner here so that you can stamp the outline and then stamp a colour. And then these elements will stamp within the banner. So you've got Beware, October, Spooky and Halloween. We've got that cute little cat and a bigger spider. We've got a little pumpkin bucket, another witch's hat. We've got little pennants. We've got some little sayings. Beware, use caution, be alert to danger. Sinister or ghostly, causing fear and unease and frightening. And then we've got that gorgeous cauldron. We've got a little house with the roof section and the door. And then we've got a clock with hands and the centre face. And I think that's the centre and maybe a third hand or just a decorative element on that stamp set. So I'll stamp a couple of the smaller set first. So let's do pumpkins. Yeah, I'm trying to find the opening. There it is. And we've got a face. So what I'll do here is I'll stamp the larger pumpkin. Just peel the backer off that. And pop that there. And I think I'll use spice marmalade. Why not? Now I'm also saying when you use archivals on your stamps, depending on the colours, you can sometimes find that your stamps are permanently stained, even if you use a stamp cleaner. But I don't worry about that, because just as long as your stamp is clean, you should be okay. So I'll put this here where you can see it. Now you usually do find that stamps can look a little bit distressed unless you do a second stamping, but because I've done a block, yeah, instead of my stamp platform, you know, you can't expect perfect accuracy with me, so it's my fault, not the stamps. Right, now I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to pop that back onto there for a second, and I'm going to put the stem on, hopefully, if I can get that accurate. And I'm going to go there, and hopefully I've made it there. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. And then I'm going to have a little clump of grass just underneath my pumpkin, and then we're going to stamp a face on there. I think I'm going to go just there with my grass. I will be washing these after, it's just that I need to be able to put them somewhere. So I'm going to go with a traditional face. I'm going to have a big happy smiley, and I'm just going to use black. I'm going to pop that about there. So you can see they do work beautifully. And then for my eyes, we've got all kinds of eyes going on. I think I'll have stars. Why not? Starry-eyed pumpkin. I love that. Stamps like this are just great for doing your journal pages, and I think I'll do the striped one while I'm here, just to see what that looks like. And I think I'm going to stamp that in Tiger Lily. Oh, see, I've left some ink on there, and I don't know now if I'm going to put this down in the right place or not. Oh, there we go. I managed it. And then it's got its own little stem again. So yeah, if anybody's watching and you know, the archival inks, if they've been bought out in the brighter greens yet, like Mowed Lawn and Citron, please let me know. So there's the stem for that pumpkin. And I think I can happily say that I'm quite happy with that. Although I think I will put a cactus flower crown on that one, just to get a bit carried away. Just at a jaunty little angle there. King of the Pumpkins. There we go. I like that. So that is that set, and now I'm going to go into my other set and stick with the same colours and see what we've got. So I think it might be nice to stamp the house from this set, or maybe even the cauldron. Yeah, let's do the cauldron first. So I'm going to do the cauldron black. See how that comes out. Pop that there. What is everybody crafting at the moment? That's what I want to know. Are you all into your Christmas cards? I've made a couple, you know, being good, but only because I've been making them on the channel. And I'm going to have purple bubbles. Now you could, if you wanted to, go in with a watercolour marker, and you could add some green or other tips. Ooh, isn't that interesting? That purple barely shows up. I think I'm going to go with a cactus flower and stamp over it again and see what it looks like ghosted. Because when they're your stamps, you can do whatever you want. So I'm going to go slightly over here so that it shows up a bit more. There, I like that. But things like this are just great for tags and stuff. And what else have we got here that I think you might want to see? The house, yeah. Let's check out this house. So I'm just getting black ink on this. Pop that there. So there's our lovely haunted house, and then we've got a roof, and I think I'll do the roof in orange. Why not? I'll go with Tiger Lily. And then, like I say, you know, my hands are a bit shaky, so you have to forgive me if I'm off at all. So there's our orange roof. I really like that stamp. That's something I'll probably stamp quite a few times and cut out just to make embellishments out of it. And then we've got a little front door, and the little front door I'm going to use cactus flower. just going to pop that in there. So we've got our lovely Halloweeny house. Now, I don't know if there's any bats in this set. There might not be. But what I will do is I'll stamp one of the spiders. Just to show you how much fun this little set is. So let's go here. We've got our little spider, and they do stamp beautifully. I mean, you can get your marker and just colour the windows in yellow, and I don't think I've got one on my table at the moment, otherwise I would have done that for you. And what have we got? Oh yeah, let's stamp one of those banners. So this will be the outline for it, and once again, you know, I'm doing freehand so I can't guarantee my accuracy, but as I stamp you can see how well each of the stamps does. So there's my banner. I'll go with, I think, let's use this spice marmalade, yeah, because that's a bit paler than tiger lily, and I'll go into that. I'll move this out of the way, otherwise I'm just going to bash it. Now, like I say, I can't guarantee my placement, and I think I'm pretty much off there. Oh, it wasn't too bad. And then I want one of the words. Let's go with spooky. So I've got the spooky word there. And let's see how well that fits into that banner. I've gone there. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I should have used a much paler colour for my bubbles, but I do love that little haunted house. I can just keep fussy cutting those out, doing them in different colours and having loads of fun. Oh, and I'll stamp one of these sentiments as well, because I do like them when they're really tiny, because they just go so well onto tags. So one of those little sentiments, and then because we've got a camera that will do a close-up, we can see if the words are correct. And I'm going to stamp that under my haunted house. And you'll be able to read it. Great stuff. I absolutely love that. Right, I do thank you so much for joining me today. As you know, and I keep having in all my conversations, I'm still healing, I'm still trying to get better, but I am going to be up on Friday with a small Christmas haul, and of course it will be Piggy Store again, why not? So I do hope you have a fabulous day, have a fabulous rest of the week, and as usual, all links below. Bye.